Welcome, 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 as I forgot to unmute myself, to another adventure into comedy. I am joined by my intrepid galactic traveling comedian, Monty Dean. If you are a person with a stick up your ass so far about spirituality, this is not the show for you. We intend to offend, we will offend. And if you have a delicate sensibility, click the X button in the corner, or if you're on a Mac, the red button in the left corner. Monty, welcome to the show of offending people.
Yeah, sorry, the brain's just gone, be offensive. I'm like, no, maybe no. don't offend the host. How are you, Andrew? It's good to see you.
I'm doing good, as I was rushing to get my headset plugged in and everything because I misplaced my time, and all of a sudden the counter from the break room came up.
Yeah, living on the edge.
So this is not a show where you're going to call in and ask for a reading. Monty on Fridays is the only one who does readings. And Monty, describe what a reading is like from you.
Well, it never happened, and I make shit up. So just for the last couple of weeks, everyone that has asked for a reading, apparently you're all from Scotland, from Purley in Scotland. You all live the same lives. It's very metaphysical, because we're all one. And I can't read the Akashic Records. I didn't even have a card to the library for the Akashic Records. So that's why I talked to Ed.
You could read the Manta records.
Yeah. I'm making it up as I go along.
Exactly. Making it up as you go along. Now, yes. If you are listening to us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, or any other things, Robert is going to put information for how to transfer over here to the Zoom room. We only answer questions from here in the Zoom room. So all of you that are in other places and spaces and going, why aren't you listening to me? Because you need to be in this room. As Robert is suddenly having Windows issues. Okay? All the information is there for you. Yes, you actually have to type stuff in. You can't copy paste off of a live. And there's about 25 of you. Does anybody have the link? Can't you paste it for me? Yes, they could. Or you could just type in https://twicezoom.us. And the meeting number, 911-001-1974, doesn't seem that hard. If you are a phoneaholic and want to do everything for your phone and not your data channels, all the phone numbers on the right side of the screen for you to come and join us and still use your interactive phone. Pow. Robert, leave it up there for just a minute for all those people who are incapable of writing things down so fast as I talk.
99.9% of humanity. Yeah,
exactly. As they're still trying to figure out where's the W button.
Wait, I'm on Zoom. What?
But wait a second. I got to go someplace other than Facebook.
Now also, this is only for people that are live. If you're watching this on Thursday, no. You can't. Well, Thursday you could probably call in, but you know what I'm saying. If live in this moment of now, not a recorded moment of now, which comes to our first item on the marketing, we have our the Planet Collingwood phone. It doesn't have actually numbers; it just says now.
It's like one of those infinite chat now bots.
Yeah, it's like annoy friends and strangers. Do you have the time? It's now. Yes, but what that is? Well, it's now.
So if I were to call the Planet Collingwood phone, what would I hear? I'd say boop 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 ring.
Hello to Planet Collingwood, where it's an Australian on an American internet radio station arguing with Americans because they don't get my jokes.
Press 1 if you got that joke. Press 2 if you're still trying to figure out that was a joke.
Press 3, are you a fuckhead?
Press 4 if you are confused, and press 5 if you'd like to wait for the operator.
Yes, or press 6 if you find Monty quite attractive and live in a 5-kilometer radius from his house because we're in stage 4 lockdown. I'm okay with that for the next 3 weeks.
Yes. And for all you lovely ladies out there, Mr. Monty has been single for a while, like in COVID prison.
Yeah, like a galactic cycle, like 7 years.
He might go comical on you.
So, as the galactic historian, how long of being celibate do you turn into a virgin again? That's the real question for today's show.
Well, you got to count masturbation, so they're not celibate.
No, I suppose that's training for the big event.
That's Triple A League.
Yes. Now, as you can see, one arm's bigger than the other. I play guitar.
Really, I play guitar. So, Monty, we have this unique opportunity to tear down the walls of seriousness on any of the conspiracy subject matters that are out there. And you come from conspiracy world. You were born in a pod of conspiracy universe, and you came out an adult conspiracy theorist. What part of the universe of conspiracy shall we look at and shine the light of comedy on?
Oh, well, it's been a longer 2 weeks. Why am I going to tell you? It's been a longer 2 weeks, eh? One thing that's happened is that Joe Biden's announced he'll be going to Madrid, Spain, for the running of the Camels. Then we have to figure out he picked his VP nomination. So, okay, fair enough. And I don't know where to start because it's just all everywhere. Where we've got the bombings at like Beirut, where I actually have to say, especially on my rate on Planet Collingwood, I have to call it a direct energy weapon because if I say "do," people think I said "Jew," and that opens up a whole. Oh, they're talking about the Jews again. It's like, oh no, it's a small group of people pretending to be Jewish, but let's not bring that up again because no one's listening.
Or they're just enunciating awfully.
Yeah. Well, I say if you don't like the Jews, wake up later in the day when the sun's burnt it off the lawn.
Then you'll be just fine.
Yeah, there won't be moisture on the grass at all. And of course, by then, all the racists are like, what?
I thought you were on our side.
You don't seem to be one of us no more.
What's that? Is that an Obama sticker on your truck? And you're like, I don't have a truck. And I'm Australian.
I have a truck. What? Now, if you want to talk boring politics, just look at the Australian politics. And we'd like to say sorry for the funding. It still makes me laugh that people think voting actually counts. It can sometimes, but not. So it's I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where to start because the information overload is just gone boom. Where well, one thing is like we need to talk about slavery in the United States, which was ended like 50 to 150 years ago, and ignore all the actual slavery that's going on now in the rest of the world.
Well, there's more slavery now than there was then.
Yeah, I know, but
it's called debt slavery.
Well, there is. Well, I'm not talking debt slavery, but like how Obama and Hillary and co liberated Libya, and now they've got live slavery markets.
Yes. So Danny says, "Lockdown 4: Live free or lock down harder." For those of you that have been following the show, this is now episode 4 in which we came up with the lockdown movies, and I have to give Monty all the credit that is due there. That has tickled me pink.
Yes, yeah, because Lockdown 3, Lockdown with a Vengeance, but it's Lockdown 4. But I can't remember what the Die Hard 4 was called. I think it was just called Die Hard 4.
No, Die Harder, I believe it was.
Okay.
Die Even Harder or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was Die with a Vengeance.
That was 3. That was 3. That was with Samuel L. Jackson.
Live free or die hard.
Live free or lock hard.
So what is the plot to the Lockdown Live Free or Die Hard 4 movie?
I don't know. I'll have to go to a government official to find that out because it is so bad at the moment where it's like even the Nazis in the South Pole's like, yeah, chill, man, come down. Yeah, you're going a little bit far. Even we don't do this. Like in New Zealand's like, all right, bro. They're Scottish, apparently. New Zealand's like, oh, all right, well, we can do it better, eh? And it's like 4 cases. Let's shut down the entire country, even though there's 3 islands and they're separated by water. And of course, if you're sick, we'll take your kids away. It's just like, there isn't a conspiracy for the New World Order. It just happens to be following the same script over and over again. Why? How can the same thing 3 times in a row happen to the same guy?
Because it's the movies.
Yeah, well, it's popular. That's called franchising.
So what happens in Australia if you don't conform?
They're shunning. You'll be shunned.
You're not allowed to be the part of the cult of Australia anymore.
Basically, yeah. And well, it's getting to the point where they're not allowing. They want to bring in a conspiracy theory fine. If you share conspiracy, if you don't follow the government narrative, excuse me, you'll get fined. And you add that to you can't protest, you'll be arrested. Even if you organize a protest, you'll be arrested. You're not allowed out for an hour. You're only allowed out for an hour for exercise. 1 person from the household can go shopping. There's a curfew. I'm waiting for the police. Yeah, I'm just waiting for people. A snitch line. Everyone wears like brown shirts and special armbands with that Buddhist symbol on the. It's like, it's how like David Icke's like people. They want to bring this. How can they bring in a new world order? You have to make the people want it. And you're seeing half the population's like, you have to wear a mask, even though on the side of the box it says it doesn't work. Fear is the virus.
Exactly. Now we have got to the point where China is more light-handed than the rest of the world. And Chinese are like, that?
Well, yeah. Your people need to calm down. I mean,
don't you calm down? You're screwing up the economy. Don't you know?
We need another Transformers movie to sell here.
We need you to buy iPhones. Go out and consumerize. Stop buying masks that don't work.
Well, yeah, it's like, concentration camps are bad and genocide is bad and chemical castration is bad. They're doing it in China. Oh, we don't talk about it now because that Chinese dollar, it's good. Like the NBA is fascinating. It's like, one player said, I stand with Hong Kong. And it's like, shut up. It's all about
they ended up firing him, I think.
Yeah, it's all about the wands.
Exactly, all about the wands and the yawns.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
the Chinese yawn.
Yeah, it's like there's a Mexican called Juan. Or leave me alone. It's like that. My gardener friend Jesus. Everyone keeps talking about him. He's been laid off.
Poor Jesus.
Yeah. That character. Yeah, I'm saying it. That character has so many names. It's like Emmanuel, yes, you are, which is, I have fun talking to Christians like, but you are a fractal of the prime creator. You are God. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Shut up.
I have to thank Gabriel for Lockdown Under 5. With a vengeance, Fast and Furious with a vengeance.
Yeah, live hard, lock hard. Well, I think they're still trying to make more movies because they're popular. Because Hollywood is devoid of ideas. It's crap.
Well, I like to Lisa Sarah saying maybe Australia just wants attention. They're tired of being everybody's punching bag.
Well, we live so far away, we don't care. It's like like Lenny Henry said, it takes, like, from London, it takes 24 hours to get here. So that's why a lot of people stay. It's like, I'm not getting in that plane again. I'm not. No, it's way too hard to get here.
Masturbates. Good one, Robert. Good one.
That was courtesy of the chat room.
Oh. And Sarah, no, it's not Fast and Furious. It's Dark, Alone, and Crying.
2. Dark, Alone, and Crying 2.
Yes, with a cat looking on, very disappointed.
Yes. Just dropped a hairball.
You're Macamesic.
I got a little hairball story. All right.
Yes, I know. You've told me that.
I don't know if I told you this one. I may have. So I was working at McDonald's at a young age, like 14 years old. And I'm in the back and I'm coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing. I just smoked some weed, and you got those coughs that kind of just linger.
Mm-hmm.
And there were just 3 girls that were in the break room at the same time. And what's wrong? And I coughed. I'm like, I got a hairball. And from that point forward, for the next 2 years, it just never stopped. Where'd you get your hairball from? Who you licking out?
Teenagers, eh?
Yeah, teenagers. Maybe they need a shave.
Well, I do find it interesting. Like, you don't have to share too much, but you had that connection with the library in the sky. I'm being flippant. That's what I do at the age of 8 at a baseball game. So your puberty would have been fascinating for you. Like you look through. Oh, Becky looks good. Oh no. She was an evil dictator 300 years ago. I'm not going near her.
Well, it didn't exactly work like that at 9.
I know.
Okay. But when I was 16, it did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. You hit puberty, you're like,
You're going to look evil when you're 60.
Hey, Steve, don't go for Jill. Go for I can't think of another female's name.
Betty. Go for Betty.
Yeah, go to Betty. Yes. Yeah, you'll have much more fun there.
Yes.
Yeah, I nearly said Karen.
Exactly. Go for Karen.
Yeah. And it's interesting as well when the Karen meme hit the internet. I think her name was actual Karen, but she acted like a Karen and said, "You got to stop saying this. It's like the N-word. It's demeaning and racist." I'm like, racist.
That's the blonde. That's that official blonde Karen who's the poster child for everyone with the really short hair that actually did that interview, and her name is Karen.
Yeah,
and she's the original. I want to speak to your manager person.
Yeah, because in the 20th century, we're referring to do-gooders. It's another subset of do-gooders, basically, isn't it?
Karens?
Yeah.
No, most Karens are not doing good.
No. Got do-gooders is like you have to do this. You have to not people doing good. There are doing good, but then there's that annoying pains in the ass do-gooders where you have to follow. Insane Christians is another way of saying it.
They're control freaks.
Yeah, that's basically Like go to the premise. They're control freaks. Yeah,
they're control freaks. To the point where they believe they can control your life at any moment in time. And when you say no to them, oh boy, the Karen monster comes out.
And we're halfway through August, 2020. What a decade. Remember those heady days of February?
Yes, when we weren't in lockdown and we could go anywhere we want and we were just free hermits. Free-range hermits. We were free-range hermits.
Hermits had choices. That's like, do I want to go outside? No. Then lockdown. You can't go outside. I'm going to rebel now.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to rebel. Fuck, they only gave me a 5-mile radius?
3-mile radius, I think. It's 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers, yeah.
And you keep saying, oh, you can find someone to date in lockdown. Really? I've seen prison movies. It's not like no.
Guys in prison finds dates all the time, Monty.
Yeah, but
a much smaller radius and a much smaller radius. All right.
Yeah, well, I've got a standard of like I'm attracted to the opposite sex. There, I said it.
Okay. So if guys at Rikers Island in a 2-acre facility can find it, you can find it in a 5-kilometer radius.
Well,
so are there any females out there that are in Australia right now? Please raise your hand. We want to talk to you.
Yeah, you know how big Australia is. Yeah, calling from Broome.
Well, it's got to start somewhere, Monty. We're going to work on getting Monty a lockdown date.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Now, remember, the cool thing, the first point of reference is yeah, you have to be on the mainland of Australia. You have to have the ability that we could walk to each other. We won't because it's so far away. But if you're in Tasmania, there's water involved. It's like I kept getting hints from people. It's like, you're awesome. It's like, you live in Chicago. It's not going to work. You live in a different hemisphere.
But this is going to conclude. This is going to bring up our dating section of our comedy show.
Oh yeah, still working on that hermit Twitter.
Yes, that hermit Twitter. So no one's volunteered to put their hand up. My God, Monty.
Well, yeah, I know.
There we go. Tanya's put up her hand. She might be potential for Monty. Robert, unmute Tanya.
There you go, Tanya.
Hi guys, how are you doing today?
Where are you living at? You don't have an Australian accent.
No, oh no, I live in San Francisco.
I can't walk there.
But my brother lives in Melbourne, Australia.
Well, is your brother going to be a good date for Monty?
No, he's married with 2 little kids.
Okay.
It's going well, Andrew. It's going well.
Sorry, Monty.
It's
I
the
thought you were
Bartzis
calling
dating
for
game.
hands. I thought you were calling for hands.
For dates for Monty.
Oh, no date for Monty. No date for Monty. But I do, listening to my brother, Monty, I do feel your pain. He's at home with 2 little kids and a trampoline in his backyard. So
slightly different,
that's
but
his exercising with the 2 little kids. So sorry, no dates.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Misunderstood the hand raise.
It's all right.
Have a
So,
great day, guys.
if there anyone that's all listening right now that would at least like to be a female that would like to talk to Monty and be a part of our first dating comedy segment. Wow, Monty, you're just shit out of luck, man.
That's what I started with. I told you I'm behind the 8 ball on the cliff, and I'm alone. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
Mary's raised her hand. Robert, undo Mary. Send her out.
Unmute you, sicko. Undo Mary.
Mary, are you there?
I am here. How you doing, guys?
Great. Where are you calling from?
I'm Adelaide, but
Adelaide.
I've actually got a girlfriend that lives in Melbourne. I could set them up.
Oh, well, tell us about this girlfriend.
Okay, well, she's very Greek and very opinionated and very strong-willed and has a great sense of humor.
Is she available?
She's very single.
How old is she?
Oh, I don't know how old Monty is either. I didn't even think about that one. I was just thinking about the laughs.
Well, is she over 18? Let's start there.
Well, she's legal.
Yeah, can you pick a decade? Pick a decade.
I reckon. How old is she? She's probably born in the 70s.
Okay, she's in her 40s then.
I think so, yeah.
30s or late 30s or 40s.
Yeah, maths.
Okay, does she have kids?
No.
Okay, Monty. How is this feeling to you?
Yeah, well, I can only go 5 kilometers. So.
Do you live near Williamstown?
No.
Oh, well.
No. That's the west. I'm in the east.
Oh, well, bad luck then, Bucko.
Well,
just bad luck, Bucko.
Yeah. As I started,
that's forearm happening.
As I told you at the start of all this, Andrew, it really sucks, and you've just basically proven everything I've said, because I'm lying.
Mary, just send the contact info to Robert. If you could just contact Mary in a private and see if we can get the contact info, and then we'll get it to Monty, please. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. So, Mary, Robert's gonna message you in private messages, and so you can share that. So you can share the contact, and make sure you tell this young lady that you're gonna fix her up through a radio show, and see if she'll come on the next Friday. Not this coming Friday, the Friday after. She'll come on to our comedy show.
Oh, she's very, very funny. So I tried to actually do the invite link, but I'm on my mobile, so I'd have lost the show. So sorry about that.
And
It's
also,
okay.
you can mention it to her as well that it's the Galactic Historian, so it's written in the Akashic Records, so it's supposed to happen, and that's the fun
Just
part of hanging out
remember,
with
I've-
Andrew.
You have to be a bit careful on that one because I actually have sent her a few revocations, so she might actually wipe it out.
There you go.
Well, yeah, they're free will.
she might lock you down.
I think I'm being muted.
No, you're
No,
still
you're not.
here.
They're still here. You're still here, Mary. Are you there?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am. I
okay.
am.
So thank you for calling in. Again, Robert's going to message you in a private message
Yep.
to get the things. And then if we could invite her to come on the next Friday show. Is there anyone else that's in the Australia? Actually, we're going to open it up to the rest of the world that thinks that they have a female friend that might be worthy of at least a phone date with Monty. Wow.
I have a gorgeous cat, so yeah. Yeah, and I have standards, people. I have standards. Goddess.
Nope, no one's coming for you, Monty.
I told you from the start. Oh, Romanian. That sounds. I do like the East European ladies. There's a hint of madness.
And otherwise a Greek woman. There you go. Monty, this is not a failure. We're going to get you a lockdown date. If it's the last thing that happens from this comedy show, we will have you in a virtual wedding throwing rice at the audience.
So how did the comedy show go? I scored a date.
Exactly.
Were you funny? I don't care. I scored a date.
Thus, we're going to call on the Arcturian Council to line up the 1 degree of separation so you can find a lockdown date.
Manifest, manifest, manifest.
So Victoria's saying, here's a Bulgarian beauty for you.
Ooh.
Victoria, are you the Bulgarian beauty? And she's not typing in now, all shy. Yes, well, raise your hand and we're going to bring you on.
No pressure.
No pressure, exactly. Robert, can you bring on Victoria?
Yeah, remember it's a comedy show, not the dating game.
It's the comedy dating game.
Dun, 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 dun,
Very
dun,
good.
dun.
There you go.
Hey guys.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey,
I'm
don't start
doing
like that.
Fantastic. Wow. Have we gotten so desperate?
Yes.
All of us.
He is locked down 5 kilometer distance.
Yeah.
How is
Are you on a-
everyone? I love your show.
Are you on a
thank
bath?
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm talking to you guys because I was looking at Monty and he does look awfully cute.
Well, there you go. A compliment. There you go, Monty.
She called me awful. What are you talking about?
She said cute.
No, she said awful. I hear what I want to hear.
That's not a good thing for your future dates, telling them you hear what you want to hear. You might have some inner work there.
It's me,
But
isn't
then
it?
again, I lost it.
So, what is it that you've been listening to our show for a while?
You know, not for a while, but recently I've been listening to you and it's very insightful.
And what do you think of our Friday comedy shows?
You know, it's my first one, to be honest, and it's awesome. I think we all need a bit of a, I don't know, laughs
Comedy,
and
yeah, laugh to break up the energy.
losing up.
Yes. So we want you to zoom into Monty's energy and ask him a dating question. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's only
Okay.
been 7 years. This is going to go well for me. You're going to make a form as well, Andrew? That's very Australian. Fill out this form.
We will the forms, how to ask a question to Monty. It's been 7 years since he's been on a date.
Well, let me ask you a question, Monty. If you can change one thing of the way you were brought up, what would that be?
Not to be afraid.
Okay, I love that. It's super honest. I appreciate that.
Well, it's the whole thing, like looking backwards, and I choose to, at one level, I choose not to remember my childhood, and the recurring theme of like, why did that? Oh, I was afraid, and why did that? Oh, I was afraid. So yeah, I see in like a mini life review that a lot of good things didn't happen because I was scared.
And your Akashic record potential meter is going up now.
Oh, and a shitload of money. So there is that. So gotta have balance. Yeah. Not scared.
It's funny because I don't know if you guys can hear me or I froze.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You're there. We can hear. Yeah, we can hear you.
I found out recently that basically, because I did see for quite a while. I felt for quite a while that I wasn't living life, and I was sort of locked in my own little world, observing, right, rather than living. Mm-hmm. And it just took a decision, and it was actually not as difficult as I thought it was, and it was an incredible sort of an experience that I found myself in. So. I definitely think that all of us, it's really not that difficult to live beyond fear, is I guess what I'm trying to say. It just takes a decision and just a jump. So,
well,
anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Well, Wayne Dyer actually had a quote. I discovered Wayne Dyer after he died. I'm like, well, that's just fucking great. It's like, oh, this guy's awesome. He's dead. Jesus. But he said, you're one decision away from your perfect life. It sounds awesome, but you have to find the right decision. You have to figure out, like, well, what the hell does that mean? It's like, well, should I eat the raspberries or a banana? You have to discover what the decision is. But it's still from a like, if you're not saying you're in depression, but with my grew up in the 90s, like my drinking smoking age in the 90s with all grunge, that was fun. But to get out of that sort of low vibration depression, you have to make a choice to start with of like, well, I want to get better, and it could take 7 years or 5 years, but you still need to actually make that choice of
so Monty, now we have to go out a little bit more. We want you to ask her a question. And we're going to determine if your Akashic Records wanted points go up or not.
Oh my God. Go for it.
What type of music do you like listening to?
Oh, crappy dating question.
Yeah, wow.
7 years out in the wilderness.
That's like way simple. You can do better than that.
I agree. Your wanted potential is going down now.
That's like asking me what's my favorite color. Really?
Yeah.
Well, that angry cow's back again. Well, being a musician and listening to music, if you just listen to country and western all the time, it's not really going to work. I'm just saying.
Definitely not.
All right, come on, ask a real probative.
No, I love a lot of the. Well, actually, being from Europe, my music genre, if I may say, is quite wide. From music from our continent, even, I'm Bulgarian, but I love some of the, I don't know if anybody has heard of Bregovic. He's super famous in Europe, but he produces incredible music. But I love a lot of different, from classical to, to flamenco or gypsy kings, or a lot of different types. Probably not most of the music that people listen to, I would say.
Yeah, because being a metalhead, when dating a metalhead, the question of do you like Slayer, that's that answer sort of dictates where you go. It's like, I don't like Slayer. I can teach you.
So now Monty,
No, no Slayer, but Metallica I definitely enjoy.
See, that's fine. Iron Maiden, I'm actually wearing a t-shirt, Ginger, who are from the Ukraine. They're quite good. So
Monty, you got to go to the edge of your masculineness and ask a real dating question, one that's been penting up for 7 years in you.
It's been a while.
Feel it, Monty.
Do you like being treated equal? So if we go out to dinner, you pay half?
Definitely not. Are you kidding me?
Your points are
If
going
I wanted
down.
to pay half, I'd take my kids and have them pay half.
There you go.
Hey, it's strange how we keep going back to the start of this, saying like, "Here are the parameters," and Andrew keeps asking questions like, "Push," like, no.
One more try, Monty.
But I am
So-
more than okay to pay once I've started dating someone.
Oh, that's much better. Yeah, so
Not
because
half.
like that's the thing about date. The first date's usually an interview, so like, my comedic brain just went. So, do you like stuff?
Well, put the comedic brain aside.
On a comedy show, no less. Yeah. I know. Maybe it's everyone watching, Andrew. I've got a feeling.
Well, this will help you with that stand-up thing, won't it? Any subject, anytime, anywhere.
Sound like I'm from the goodies. That's good. I like that show. And yeah, everyone's like, "You're red." Yeah, I'm slightly warm because I'm wearing too many layers of clothing. I'm pink. I'm not a white man. I'm a pink man.
You do have a nice color, though.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Let the love of the audience in.
Well, I think we're done here, Andrew. Sorry to
Yes.
disappoint you.
I think so. I think Monty has to work on some of his dating social skills.
Yeah, strange that. Like, when I say I'm not good at this, and then Andrew wants to point this out over 10 minutes. Are you? Yes. I'm still bad.
We're gonna change that, one comedy show at a time.
Yeah. Would you like to be mentored by Andrew Bartzis on global radio?
The best way to be taught.
Yeah. It's his form of roasting. Yeah. Huzzah.
Victoria, thank you so much for calling in. You've been a blessed energy to come in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Really enjoy you.
You're
and
welcome.
bless you for everything that you do.
Right. So we're gonna get. So Monty, you are bright pink right now.
Yeah, because that's the lighting.
No. Now we're going to go questions to the audience. Now that there's not a live person on the other line, what is the right kind of questions Monty could ask somebody? So we're going to go to the chat room and see what our living brain of the chat room is going to say.
Someone said, I should have brought up Monty. Should have brought up Monty Python. Doctor Who. That's also, that's a deal breaker. You don't like Doctor Who? Oh, geez, the nights are going to be very painful for you.
Wow, the audience is like,
What's your longest relationship? Yeah, but that sounds. So that goes back to the interview. So like,
all the women are asking about sex. Okay. So maybe you have some secret admirers there.
Yeah, well, once again, unless I can walk to you, unless we can free that secret technology of teleporting, then hey, I'll go on tour, if you know what I mean.
Go on tour. There you go. On tour of lockdown. This is the 5 kilometers I'm allowed.
Yeah. Well, I went for a hike yesterday and I walked to the letterbox. Very boring. No one was there. I went to a restaurant last night as well. It was called The Kitchen. It was really bad. You had to make your own meal. So, yeah.
Bad service, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was me. Yeah, Pisces are happy to be alone. Sometimes. What are your intentions, miss? Yeah, there's some homework. Create a form to speed date for myself. Yes, I'm a Pisces. I was born on the 8th of March, which is International Women's Day. So clearly, I'm God's gift to women. It's also a full moon as well. So I wonder why my moon and sun are in opposition. So no wonder I'm like,
I'm afraid to say something.
Yes, it's fun trying to roast yourself when you're talking to a multidimensional being that can read the Akashic Records.
Yes, I'm holding back the polarity.
Wait till you find out what you did in 2015. Woo! Good old King John. John. Me speaky bad. So yeah, and yeah. Any other questions?
I'm still holding back. I won't make the reference. Won't use the skill for that.
Yeah, I do have an awesome cat who doesn't like anyone. She's like, go away. And she has a quiet purr but a loud meow, and she keeps trying to talk to me. And it's like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Andrew, get Monty in touch with the Nocturian Hoochie Mama. He couldn't handle them. That would be very unpleasant for him. Why does she have 8 arms?
Wait, above the equator means above the equator.
I can't be tickled by 7 arms and have something else going on with the 8th arm.
So yeah, that's going to be fun when there's disclosure and you've got all these different races. We'll have interspecies relationships and connections.
Absolutely, which will be very informative in discovering.
So yeah, all the races are going to have a hard time.
Exactly.
I hate black people. Wow. Now there's blue people, orange people,
insectoids that have got mandibles. I just can't find a way to love that mandible. And then you're gonna watch, mantis porn, which is hot mandible on mandible action.
Just wait for that ball of light on ball of light porn.
Yes. Hot photonic ball of light on hot photonic ball of light.
I'm sparking.
I won with the spark. So cross-species sexuality will be very unique, as all I simply can say.
Yes.
There are some species that have several vaginas, not one. And you have to figure out which one is the, let's just say, money vagina, meaning you're actually going to get them off. And the whole journey of sexuality is it actually moves like the 3-card Monty, where you keep moving the little pebble around. And that's the sexuality. You got to intuit which one is actually which one. And that determines if you're connected or not.
As you've pointed out, I have problems just talking to a female. Now I've got a Russian roulette of vaginas. Place your bets.
Well, that's kind of how it works for some of them.
Yeah.
Yes, there are those with several phalluses or tentacles, prehensile penises.
You just explained tentacle porn to me.
Yes.
That's actually a genre of on
hentai,
this planet.
Hentai.
Yeah.
Yes. Imagine something the size of a large, porn type penis that is prehensile, meaning it can bend over, pick stuff up. You can write with it.
Those wacky Japanese.
And there are many ladies out there going, what? What exactly could that do? A lot. A lot.
I'm going to search engine hentai.
Oh, no, exactly.
Not safe for work. Clearly not safe for work.
And then some of the other aspect is there's going to be inevitably those that just can't figure out how to get square peg, round hole to work, but they have true love. And then the true love will get so much that they'll actually genetically change themselves so they have matching parts. So imagine if, Jumbo, the insectoid, and Ralph, the human, find true love, and they both one day like, what's different about you? You found true love, but finally your DNAs match so the parts meet. Now imagine that, on your Facebook wall.
I've fallen in love with an exact. Oh, geez, the country and western songs are going to be intense.
Yes.
My Draco left me.
My Draco left me for adrenochrome. No.
Bastard. Wow. That's a fun part of doing these comedy shows. We really don't plan anything. We just go for the comic moment. And we're only 45 minutes in, and we've done a dating show.
Not pre-planned whatsoever.
Okay, yeah.
It's the love of improv. The love of improv. Okay. And Monty, let's just give a little bit of thing about the love of improv. As I asked you to improv on improv.
The energy that comes, the creative energy that comes out of it is like completely fascinating. If you watch Whose Line It's Anyway, the English version or the American version, you can just see the performers happen, and dare I say, there's some element of spirituality, because the performers, if they're on the same wavelength, they there's like 2 rules for doing improv: never say no, and make everyone else on stage look better. So if everyone's making everyone look better, everyone looks better. And you can just there's moments where you drop down laughing because comedy's a building of tension and a release, like most things in life. However, because it's made up on the spot, it's not like you haven't spent 4 months writing this joke trying to get it, but because it's just created in front of you, the energy there's such an energy exchange. I can't really explain it.
In that energy exchange, because there's natural humor that is creating this non-static field of dynamic flow, and you can palpably feel it as you go deeper and deeper into the improv, which just opens up your doors of restrictions. And literally, it's just the words have zero pre-planning. It is the true essence of living in the moment.
Yeah, like one example I've got where it just took everyone. It takes you by surprise, and it just hits straight through the comment. Can I fluff your Garfield? Like, what? What the hell does that mean?
It can be interpreted many ways.
Yeah, I think that game was. They have a game called If You Know What I Mean, and it's like double entendre type thing. It's like, I fluffed my Garfield, if you know what I mean. It's just
if you know what I mean, ha ha ha.
Yeah. And there's such joy in it where the performers connect an energetic type of thing, and then it's the pure creativity, and it's not like some improv, they do drama, but usually comedy is much better because you get laughs out of it, and the comedy of it is not harder, but it's a different level. And so like a lot of comedians who do go into drama find it easy because you need drama in the comedy and you use different techniques. If you're not trying to find the laugh, you can just slip into drama and be awesome at it. There's Robin Williams is a good example. If all his straight acting, he's really good at it because he knows how to act. Or was, yeah. Hey, yeah. Time's an illusion. Shut up.
All right. If you are listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or any other thing, Robert is going to put up some information on the screen so you can come and join us from wherever else you are and be a part of the Zoom meeting room. It is where we take questions from the audience. It is where we talk to the audience. It is where you can come and raise your hand and be selected to be a comedic caller. We're going to be, after the top of the hour, we're going to be opening up the calls again for comedy only. If you are a serious stick-up-your-ass person, we're going to hang up on you. So all of the information is there on the screen. If anybody existing in the room right now wishes to raise their hand because they have truly something funny to us that they'd want to say to us, we ask that you click on the 3 little dots on the right-hand corner and click raise your hand. And it looks like we do not have an adventuresome crowd. We have a bunch of hermits sitting in their dark rooms right now going, I want to be a hermit. I wait for someone to enter. Oh, we got some people that have raised their hands.
Yeah. You and your taunting ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you want to do it, oh, everyone sucks. Oh, now they don't. Come on.
So we're going to let Monty's psychic power pick from the Wheel of Callers. Monty, click on the participants button on the right-hand corner, and that should allow you to see whose hand is raised, and let your psychic skill pick.
I just like the name Jamie Suss, if I'm saying that correctly.
Okay. Robert, unmute Jamie Suss.
Nothing sus.
Jamie, are you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
South America, Ecuador.
Ecuador, South America. Welcome to the show. What do you think of our show so far?
Oh, I've been with you guys since the beginning, and this has been a riot the whole way. Conscious comedy all the way. I love it. It's been fun to make fun of everything and bring light to even the white lighter versus conspiracy theory stuff. And I love it.
So what would you like to add? Anything comical that you like to add, and any particular light lover stuff that you'd like to take the piss out of?
Oh yeah, totally. So this week I went to a outdoor yoga class, and here in Ecuador, everything is banned as far as social gatherings. So underground gathering, and we're at this outdoor yoga class, and it hit me in the middle of the yoga class why it's okay to fart in the middle of yoga. Ooh. And the reason why it hit me is because, we're all distanced far enough apart, whatever. And in the middle of this class, for this joke, a Karen next to me, let something out. And it hit me, what happens if you hold it in, right? Because we've all been there, holding on for dear life that something doesn't squeak out, or praying that someone will just crack a window. But here we are outdoors. And, if I focused more on it, if I hold it in, guess what happens? It just travels up my spine, becomes shitty ideas, emotional diarrhea, some verbal vomit, and as we see now, a self-deprecating sense of humor.
That's awesome. So was it a loud Karen fart?
No, it was a soft, silent but violent one. Broccoli is broccoli.
Were you distanced far enough?
Yeah, but broccoli is broccoli.
Broccoli is broccoli.
So breathe in and release. Not like that.
No, exactly. It was like, and then inhale.
Did everyone hear it?
No, it was only the few of us around that caught wind.
Literally, caught wind.
Yeah, well, yeah. Only the people downwind caught a hint. There's a scent on the air. Oh.
So there's going to be a new meme, Karen farts. When Karen farts at yoga, she wants to speak. She wants to speak to the manager
of the colonic.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys have been great, and I look forward to these shows. It's been fun to just laugh, and how important it is just to laugh.
We are getting that feedback where people are getting addictive because of just everything that's going on in the troubles, breaking up that energy and laughing and, oh, dear God. It's a visual gag.
Yeah, exactly. And lockdown here is a little tighter than where you are at, Monty. So I feel you. I totally feel you.
Yeah, well, you've got guns and tanks and everything else like that, so like we're not that bad.
Well, the military is on the streets here as well, just in different ways. So we have curfew. We've had curfew since the beginning. They just lifted the curfew today. Actually, now it's 11 p.m.
Okay.
Wow.
But that is South America, though. They do it their special way, where it's like didn't they have like in Brazil not rape gangs? What am I thinking? They would go and disappear homeless people and stuff like that. So not funny, just a point of view.
That was Brazil, yes.
Yeah.
So what other Jamie? What other comedy stuff you've been listening to the shows has actually made you want to tell some of these jokes to other people, or what stuck out over the shows that you've listened to?
That we can make light of ourselves, right? Taking the stick out of our ass, which is why I told a fart joke. And getting back into understanding that if we can't laugh at ourselves, right? What's the point of all this, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah, we are human. Like the rest of creation does laugh at us. Like, look, they're watching The Bachelor again. Idiots.
So has there been anything that we've done that's made you spit your drink out at all?
Yeah, the night in the bathtub, that was awesome because it all hit point.
Yes.
it all hit on point. It just made sense. And then the consequent bathtub shows after that. I really love the Gary and Barry.
Yes.
And how we looked at the idiocracy, the kleptocracy, and how Gary and Barry are the managers, and playing with that idea of our own structure of things. And then now out creating the conspiracy. That's been the best one. Making up our own shit.
Making up our own shit. Exactly. Because somebody
Yes.
will fall for it.
Yeah.
Somebody will.
Sure. I heard that they're chemtrailing with hydroxychloroquine now.
Oh,
With a hint of zinc.
Well, that one could work. They're chemtrailing hydroxychloroquine right now. I bet you there's a Karen that will go all over your Facebook with it.
And it's going to be fun when everyone discovers that Third Rock from the Sun was a documentary.
Sarah's saying that's already on Twitter, hydroxychloroquine. Somebody from this in another show.
And there we go. Yeah. So something else I'd like to share with you guys.
Sure.
So I'm in a somewhat spiritual or enlightened community where people are practicing more and working on alternative healing and so on. And there's all kinds of weird things going on, right? So this is more of a public safety announcement, right? And celibacy is not hereditary.
No, it's not. It's a choice.
Totally. And so there are certain STDs rolling around in these types of communities, and it doesn't have to happen with person-to-person contact. And it's usually the people who call other people sheeple or call themselves woke, right? And it's like gonorrhea where it comes from animals, but it's all about the fluffy bunny syndrome, right? The white lighter.
So white lighter STD.
Totally. Crystals, fairies, rainbows, fart and glitter, and so on, but they can't handle the reality check or accept reality, right? Denial's more than just their river.
It's more than a river. It is a river in Egypt to them.
And that's the fun part of doing this show is if any entity gets offended, we have a backup of saying, well, you're not enlightened enough. Because if you see all the dare I say, the Ascended Masters, they have a wicked sense of humor. And so if the Dracos or whoever gets upset, well, we're just pointing out you're not that spiritual. So that you can have fun with that community as well. If that's not funny, it's like, yes, it is.
Oh, totally. And there's some people who have that backdoor ego, right? I'm more spiritual than you.
Yes.
Right. I wear three malas.
Yes. And I have 9 crystals shoved up my ass.
I was watching there's an English show called Mock the Week. I've seen little clips of that, and it's one segment was movie lines you won't hear in movie lines from a movie blockbuster you would never hear, and they did one for Batman. It's like, why so serious? I've got scars, I'm wearing clown makeup and holding a knife. Yeah, fair enough.
So what brought you to Ecuador?
I came here just before lockdown, actually. I came down here to do a training course in therapeutic hypnosis. And as the course finished, lockdown started and the borders all closed.
Isn't the universe funny like that? I may start doing stand-up comedy and start dating. Lockdown. Oh, yeah, thanks, universe. Thanks for that so much.
Yeah, I'm going to start traveling and make my way back. Nope. Borders closed. Exactly.
You have to stay here for 18 months because you suck. Yeah.
Well, yeah, 6 weeks is quickly becoming 6 months.
Yeah, isn't it what we're in the 5th month of the 2-week lockdown?
150 days or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So, are you stuck in the spiritual community?
Not stuck. Happily there. Yes.
Okay.
He's accepted his position. Yes.
So
yeah, there are some free range humans here. That's for sure. Some people have been off the grid for a while.
Free range hermeses.
Hermits of the world unite. Well, sort of. Yeah.
There is a cure for those white lighters with the STD, which was where farting rainbows and butterflies. Okay, it's called truth. They can't accept it, and it's the only way to cure it.
Yeah, but those are the ones who think that truth is relative.
Yes, if your sexual parts are dripping rainbow colors, something's wrong.
Yeah, see a doctor.
See a doctor, a witch doctor.
Yeah, it's like I'm probably going to be called a TERF or whatever, but the transgender things, like men bleed too. It's like, if you're bleeding from the crotch, see a doctor. I'm just putting it out there. If you don't have a uterus, science.
Something might be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm having my period. No, you have an open wound. like that's near the ephemeral artery. You may die.
So, Jamie, do you have any stereotyped people that you see on a regular basis there that you'd like to share the stereotype of the super spiritual?
Sure. There's definitely a few. There's the I've changed my name. You can call me Shakti.
Oh, I know many of them. Shakti 1, 2, 19, 254.
Yeah, there's that. There's some other funny ones where it's we escaped the Matrix, but we didn't wake up.
I love that one.
Do you have any people that identify as extraterrestrials? Where, like, I'm an Arcturian. You look pretty human to me.
There are plenty of channelers around here, so it's more like they contact their guides and speak the truth from that perspective. So there's definitely, like, I channeled Pleiadians. Want to come to my channeling tonight?
Yeah, I would be careful about that.
My exact response. Yeah,
I'd have a blast with them. I mean, are you really channeling the Pleiadians? Let's test. You're not a Pleiadian. You're your shadow, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you're from the Pleiades. Do you know Dave? Dave, he's huge there.
Yes. Want to meet some of my Pleiadian friends?
You know, there's other other stereotypes on here. Like, there's the hippie gigolo, right? Normally the guy who's selling crystals on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he's comes up to the ladies, you know, you probably have a blockage in your heart chakra. I can feel it in your breasts. You know?
And that's real. That's real.
That is so real. There's also people here, like, there's a guy who's a DJ. He changed his name to Digital Shaman. It's no longer a party; it's a ceremony.
Oh my god!
Come over to my temple.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You know, or there's the too intense, too much eye contact.
Oh,
the person who offers the
eyeballs
too early in the conversation.
Yeah, where their eyeballs look like they're on methamphetamine.
So, how many Jesus do you know?
None. All of them have come to the self-realization.
Okay, cool. Because see a couple of like, I am Jesus. You may have tapped into the Christ consciousness, but you aren't Jesus.
So, how many Buddhas have you met?
Quite a few, but it's more like Buddha at the gas pump type Buddha.
Buddha at the gas pump. Yep. Any Kuan Yins?
Sure, you can heal everything with forgiveness and compassion. But there's action that has to come behind that, right? So
Mhm.
there's a couple. This comes back to the wearing my malas, 3 malas, and have step chime type jewelry on.
Mhm. That they trip over all the time.
Or it becomes a distraction in the meditation, right?
Mhm. Because they have covered in the objects that are annoying. How bad is the patchouli oil?
Patchouli is not so bad. It's all Palo Santo down here, so
Okay, it's all Palo Santo, yeah.
it's all Palo Santo.
So I'm just wondering, being South America, how many people are on cocaine?
It's usually just the foreigners that are doing the drugs down here. It's part of what I call it blue eye tax, right? It's just they look at you and they say, you want drugs. Or,
Yeah.
or prostitution or something else that's just no.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about the people themselves from there? How they deal with the spiritual people there?
There's quite a bit of spiritual bypassing. There's also everyone has their own path. You got to let them be. So it gets to be interesting when it comes to conflict resolution, especially around the masks right now, because it's the locals that are wearing them and the foreigners that aren't, and it's causing some issues between people.
Because you got a bunch of Karen and Ken fake white lighters.
Yeah, and then also people who are very tuned into the global narrative and so believe what the news says. And down here, if it bleeds, it leads, and it's even more sensationalized.
That's awesome. I think you need to make an alternate version of yourself that uses some of this information and start blogging about it.
I would agree.
Right?
I would agree.
It could be a powerful spiritual teacher to a lot of those future people who are about to name themselves Shakti.
Teacher in the jungle, blog now.
15 reasons why you shouldn't name yourself Shakti.
Totally.
Man, thanks a lot for calling in. You were a breath of absolute fresh air. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for keeping the last rolling, and thanks for letting me share some of these spiritually transmitted diseases on there.
Oh, that's all right.
Awesome. We're going to steal it.
Please do, right? Please do, right?
Thank
you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Monty, we've been inspired.
Yes. I should start my own communion in a 5-kilometer radius.
Monty Shakti Dean.
Yes, come and join spiritual love and connection to source in 3 easy payments.
3 easy payments of $9.99.
There are t-shirts.
So, Robert, would you come on a second? You're living in Colombia. I want you to describe to everyone what the Colombian lockdown is like.
It's not quite as intense as Ecuador, but we've been since March 23rd in the little town that I'm in. We've had men out on one day, women on the next, in the house by 4 p.m. Everyone down here, I think because of the religious history of the church, they are very diligent about following the news and wearing their masks. You see very, very few people who don't. I wear mine on my chin to keep my chin hairs from falling on the street. And the government is interesting. The mayor of Bogota is a gay woman who's finding more and more power every day in her position. She just announced she's going to lock down more neighborhoods of Bogota. So you have no idea, like, if you're going to go from one neighborhood that's open to another neighborhood that's closed down unless you really follow the news. And they're looking at pushing things to the end of the month, at least at the moment. Let's see.
And your wife got some tickets, didn't she?
Yeah, we were driving into town one day. We were out and about because in Cogua, where I live, the you can go out if you're a guy on one day. So we snuck out the back door and we went to the next town, but you can only be out in that town if you had the ID number ending in an odd number, for example. And then we passed some police coming back into town after doing some shopping, and they pulled us over because my wife wasn't wearing her mask. So they said, you are supposed to be wearing your mask. And of course she, in Spanish, talked back to him in a way to support her rights. And we got a ticket, not for the mask, but because I was out on a day that I wasn't supposed to be out. So that was $200.
200 US.
200 US, which is a
Yes.
lot of money for people down here. You have to think
Mhm.
about the exchange.
Right.
And that's happening every city and county line. We cannot drive to the next county without permission. They're checking your IDs everywhere. I got my hands sprayed with hand sanitizer 5 times shopping in about 4 hours. And Valerie, you need to turn off your video. Got it. So I've been wanting to say that for a long time. Thank you, Valerie. So anyway, yeah, and when family went out, we were all together. I actually stayed home. Grandparents, wife and daughter in the car, and got stopped by the police. The car was taken away and had got 4 infractions. And they had to figure out how to get home. And that's happening all the time to people too. So it's really interesting.
Is it are they trying to be safe, or they're trying to raise revenue?
You just imagine corruption at its best, and that's what's happening.
Revenue.
Yeah, 'cause
It's revenue raising.
Yeah,
Revenue
'cause it
raising,
just-
but people also take bribes. That's very common down here.
because it sounds like it's more chaos. Like Melbourne, it's uniform of like in this area everybody, and so it's suppression. But it sounds like from your perspective, it's totally of like, well, this street you have to wear a red jumper, and if you go into the next street, it's a blue jumper, and if you may be shot. It's they've amplified the chaos where it's everyone for themselves. Good luck.
Yeah, it's like that, and people, I don't know how much they're talking about it, or they're just rolling with it, but it's interesting.
So any word if they're going to lift the lockdown at all, or is it they just keep extending it?
Right now, it still gets extended and extended.
And I want to make a "I told you so" statement back in March. And that's what was going to happen. They're going to keep extending it and extending it. Bait you that it's going to come out and to keep extending it.
I didn't want to agree with you at the time, but I acknowledge you now. You said that. You did say that.
You
At
were
the
there
time, I
live.
was
You were there live for the show.
biting my tongue.
Here in Victoria, definitely till the end of the year, we'll be in a form of lockdown. Could be stage 3, could be stage 2, but they're actually gone. It will be through Christmas. We'll be in some form of lockdown.
So we just got word here in the United States that Canada has extended the border closure between America and the United States till the end of 2021.
Wow.
That is a instance for you to understand, Americanos, gringos, that as long as the Canadian border is shut down, you're all fucked.
Yeah.
The Canadians just say, fuck you, Americans, and your virus. Don't come across my border.
We just had a friend who flew back to Australia. She's from Italy. Her boyfriend and daughter went to back to Australia a couple months ago. She just flew back there and was told she can't leave for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. Some of the shit that's going on is preparing everybody for what's going to come in 2021, which is the vaccines we have don't work. And the Russian vaccine, it's just for the oligarchs. Okay. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, a long time. So yeah.
But we've got Joe Biden and Camel Toe Harris.
Mhm.
Haha.
I've got to find a picture of that. Hold on.
Camel toe hairs.
Well, yeah, the way I see it, I've just resigned to the fact that Kamala Harris is running for president because Joe's just there.
I have to say this. So Carrie Cassidy of Project Camelot, for the longest time, I used to call it Project Camel Toe. And I was on a show one time and I accidentally called it Project Camel Toe.
How did that go down?
Not well. Let me tell you, not well.
Yeah, someone found out some stuff.
Let's just say it was a disenlightening moment.
The joy of being human. I made a mistake. Oops.
Yep. Oops. And I shouldn't have said it.
On 3 different platforms, it's been archived.
Forever. So, Monty, what is the most biggest flip of words, mistaken words you've said to somebody without intending to?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
You don't know.
It was that bad. The mind's gone, nope, wipe.
Nope, I'm logged out.
No, change timelines, quick, dink.
Exactly, dink.
So it would have been impressive if I remembered. But I'm sure I keep making mistakes where, because humor can be subjective. And like even typing in something, you're being sarcastic, but people think it's real, which is making it interesting now where satire and parody seem to be disappearing because you don't know who's being facetious or not. It's like
anymore, yes, because the blinds have been blurred so much.
Yeah, there's a meme of like, is this a parody account? You keep seeing that, and it's like, no, they mean that. Oh dear God, no. Like the whole thing, there's up to 30 things that this is racist now. Like punctuation, that's racist. Did you see? Now this is funny because it just brings in the Star Trek episode when Picard gets kidnapped by, I think it's the Klingons or the Romulans. But apparently 2 + 2 = 5.
Is that the episode where he had the lights shining
Yes,
on him?
yeah. There are 4 lights.
Yes, they were not Romulan. They were Cardassian.
Oh, Cardassian, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But that I don't know if you've seen that hit the internet where because mathematics is racist, and it's the whole thing, it's what you believe instead of imperial science, or however you say it. But yeah, it is from 1984. It's 2 + 2 = 5. Don't you know that? Like 2 + 2 = 5. And like, really? This is the level of stupidity that we're getting at, where everything is racist. Jogging, camping, punctuation.
Do you know how you get 2 + 2 = 5? 2 and 2 is 4. Add the plus 5.
I can point out that I have 11 fingers.
Show us.
Okay, yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5 is 11.
Beautifully put. So many people are like, wow, I get it.
Yep. See, smashing through the multi-dimensional truth barrier there.
That's right. You're a multi-dimensional mathematician genius.
I just remembered from, I think it was Thursday's show, where I like popping on to, being brought on is quite fun, but I mainly just hang out and chat and try and make people laugh. I can't remember the joke, but I actually made someone spit water all over their screen and keyboard from writing a joke in the chat. Yesterday, wow, it was only yesterday. What happens in Vegas, Vegas stays in Vegas, the whole Vegas nerve. That was funny.
Well, I have been sent many bills for computers that have had drinks sprayed on them. Actual people have sent me bills for saying things they spit their drink out on.
So that's part of the blame, shade, and domination and control, because they're blaming you for their reaction.
Well, some of them are jokes, and then there are the ones who are not joking. Okay? You, as a light worker, cannot say these things. And I was so offended, I spit my drink all over my computer and ruined it. Therefore, you owe me a computer.
I actually shared yesterday a photo of the Earth and a photo of the Earth. This is this is planet Earth before and after your opinion, and it's exactly the same.
Yep. People are asking me, like, really? I'm like, absolutely. I have at least a dozen emails over the last 9 years of that exactly happening, meaning saying something that was not acceptable for the light worker Karen. Yeah. And what was my response back? Ghost. Don't answer them. Best thing ever. Or
good luck with that.
Or no. That's it. No. See attachment. No.
See, that's the fun part of living on a free world. You can say no and hold your space.
Right. And then at the return message, what part of no don't you understand? The N or the O?
Yeah. It's in all the information. There you go. That's the one I shared. All the information's in the word no.
Exactly.
And I've used the GIF from, I think it's Austin Powers 3, where Dr. Evil's talking to Goldmember, and Goldmember says something stupid, and Dr. Evil just wheels over in his wheelchair. How about no, you Dutch bastard?
So I've been talking with my PA Michelle about having her come on one of the Friday shows and talking about some of the strange ass emails that I get from some crazy people. In the 9 months or 8 months she's been my PA, she has been exposed to some crazy stuff. One particular was a 17-page email about a life story that ultimately wanted a free session. Okay. Now, I get this regular, and I had to explain to her when she took over the job position, like, you're going to get life stories, and then, multi-page life stories. You have to learn to ignore most of it, go to the end, and actually figure out what they want. Okay?
So, the response to a 17-page email. Huh?
Exactly. Huh? What are you asking for? Lori, mine was only 5 pages. Anyways, and then we get the ones that are, woe is me, everything doesn't work, I'm haunted. She sends them one revocation and everything's perfect now. And then an hour later, 5 pages on being haunted. She sends them another one. 5 pages on being haunted. Sends them another. I'm healed.
Have you got any emails pointing out that you're Satan or your cult leader, or all those accusations about, like,
all the time, Satan incarnate? Yes, the biblical people. We have a special tactic here where we ban their email and report it back. So we are vicious back to them, and it really is like when they get a certain amount of negative feedback things on their email, they shut down their account.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sort of spiritual defense, because especially now with what Mars is in retrograde, and then after the election, the US election, it goes into shadow and it goes normal, say at the start of next year. I saw a show about all astrology, what's coming up in 2020. It was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But don't start a fight for the rest of the year. Don't start a fight. Just be that warrior soul. You can defend yourself, but don't start one, because it's going to go real bad. You can still win, but it's like, we won by burning down my house and all that type of stuff. So it's like, from a spiritual perspective, you don't really go around picking fights, but when someone attacks you, it's like I've got to read The Art of War, but you allow someone to attack you and then you defend, and from a still point, it's times 10 back. Or what am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say.
I totally get what you're trying to say. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to turn the energetic momentum back on them.
Yeah, it's very martial arts in that respect.
Right. So I'm not going to give everything. I talked to Michelle a couple of days ago about this, but it'll be this is a little sample here. So after a while of doing the job, she's like, "What do I do with these people who just want to meet you privately?" And I'm like, "You mean people that have an obsession with me and just want to go on a date?" I go, "Put them in the corner on the side, along with all the other ones, and ignore them, because it's going to get to the point." And then this was just several weeks ago. There came a love story from a person who had a dream with me, married me, etc., and was trying to physically send me a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I get some psychos. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've met your fourth dimensional self, and yeah, he's a funny bastard. He's a bit of a prick. Because I remember I had a dream about explaining the dream, and you've just gone, yeah, he's been a prick. It's like, yeah, that's the fun part of being multidimensional. Like trying to explain on my roundtable, I had a dream. Well, that could be 17 different things. Whereas it could be a different timeline, could be just a holodeck in your own mind with the subconscious. It could be on the astral plane.
And people are the commenters says, "But you're my soulmate." You know how many emails a year I get for people saying that I'm their soulmate? Like 400 or 500.
And don't you say that you've basically, like being a galactic historian, you've lived everything?
No, I've lived in every major soul families that's a part of karmic resolution. Yeah. So I know the ins and outs of this, what the family's trying to resolve or create.
Yeah, so technically you are their soulmate. You're a soulmate to everybody.
No, I'm soul family.
Okay, soul family.
There's a little incestuous here. Okay.
yeah. There's this is where distinction kicks in. It's like, soul family, not soulmate. We met at a mixer, like a family reunion, but you've just jumped. It's like, oh yeah, awesome. Yeah.
So Maggie Matchovich is saying, when I don't know what to do, I think about what would Andrew say, and he usually comes in and gives me shit and leaves. Self-healing, self-nurturing, bitch.
Colonic.
Exactly.
It's like, this is new. You've reached a point in your spiritual journey, and maybe I'll just check out the Galactic Historian. He sounds good, and it's all light and fluffy. And oh dear God, he's roasting everyone. What a bastard!
Yes. So, in the years that I'm doing this, I've had my house broken into 4 times. 4 times by crazy psycho people. 4.
What's my purpose? What's my purpose?
Demanding I heal them of their demons right there in my house. Okay? Okay? And I'm not kidding when I say 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay? I had to buy a gun to guarantee there wouldn't be a 5th.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't understand how people, like, the brazenness of, like, I wouldn't break into a house in America at all because, there's guns. I was watching Superman, and I'm thinking, how dumb are these criminals? You have Superman in Metropolis and Batman in Gotham, and they still do crime.
Exactly. How dumb are they?
I mean, it helps for the stories, don't get me wrong. But my point is like, what are you, idiots? Like, they rob a convenience store and they're driving away with the cops. I think Superman may find you. Now, obviously, with super villains like Luthor and super villains, but mugging and just holding up a liquor store is like, really? It is good for the stories, but it just sounds like these people are idiots.
Yes, over and over and over and over again. Yeah. The Black Knight waits.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Yeah, well, with Batman, there's a slight get out of free jail card, which is like you do it during the daytime, and then I thought, yeah, but then Batman comes out and finds you during the night.
Oh yes, and Robert said he illegally installed cameras against the landlord's permission. Ha ha ha. Yes, that was the 4th time.
I remember I've seen a meme or a comic panel where Superman's saying that, well, Lex Luthor is a billionaire that can do anything he wants with all his fortune, and he could be a menace to society. And then the next bit is Batman shifts in his seat uneasily.
Exactly.
But yeah, being broken in 4 times. Is that a life lesson, or is it just because when it'll be interesting perspective, I guess, where for me, when I don't have people break into my house, I'll just get a laser pointer and Scoffy will take care of you. So there, it's all fine there. But when you sort of learn a lesson and then 3 years later it happens again, it's like, is the universe just give me a reminder? It's like, I've worked through it here. What am I missing? And then there's a spiral of doubt for a second. That it's fun how, and then of course it could, is it part of a lesson for them? And yeah, we should be given a manual when this is why I think a lot of people get freaked out. They keep asking about the past is because they're trying to figure out the now. And can you imagine in elementary, primary school, teaching kids how to meditate for 10 minutes, how that would just spread out and help humanity? Little things.
I'm laughing at the chat and laughing at what you're saying at the same time. Alan is saying he doesn't have people break into his house anymore. He has bear shits on his front lawn. Yes, that happens too.
Scoffy. It's Scoff. It's an O, not a U. Scoff.
So what have I learned? To be armed. There are super psychos out there, and no matter how much protected you are, if they want in, they're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Have security. Have cameras. Yeah. That's that makes you feel the safest. Did I feel violated? Absolutely. Every time I violated. But I also know that the universe was telling me I'm reaching a high enough frequency that the system is doing that stuff. You're annoying the fuck out of it somehow. And they want to send something direct at you. And then the next level is don't let it have the frequency and the capacity. I was able to talk myself out of most of these situations, but there was also one situation, it didn't matter about talking. It was about me having to kick the shit out of it.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the movie Imagine, John Lennon actually, I don't think it's caught on camera, but there was because in his grounds, in his mansion, his house, there was a homeless guy living there because he believed John Lennon was Jesus. And John just worked it out really well he wasn't insane, batshit crazy on one level, but he talked him down, and they took him into the house and gave him a meal. It's like, I'm just a human. I'm just good at writing songs. And it's your experience. It reminds me of that saying, the Japanese say, don't be that one nail that sticks out, because you get the hammer comes down on you. And that's sort of like, if you've been attacked at that level, it's because you're doing the right thing. The quote we used on Revolution Radio, you get more flack if you're over the target.
Exactly. And in this particular situation, what else did I learn? That I grew up in a family that was anti-gun, but my 2 older brothers were in the military, so they all had guns just to piss off my parents.
As you do.
So I learned to shoot at a very young age, and I enjoyed it. And I used to go to gun shows all the time. My oldest brother, got a federal firearms license, and that meant that I could go and buy and sell guns at gun shows for really cheap and turn around and turn them into money. Okay. So I had a lot of experience. And then when I became a spiritual teacher, do I really need a gun? No. So I got rid of my collection. Well, I learned I needed a gun. I really did learn I needed a gun. Okay.
Well, when you have Galactic in your title, it's like, someone may point at is there, now I know you have communication with certain groups of entities that are trying to help.
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences with the negative side that go like, acting like, we don't like you. We don't like you. You're stupid.
Oh yeah. I've had some really negative ones that want to hurt me. Okay.
Yeah.
So part of my early life, I worked at a haunted house. So here in the United States, for people outside of the United States, Halloween is a giant, giant big deal. And there's this entire industry of people that have these haunted house shows. And sometimes it takes you an hour to 2 hours to go through. I was very good at it. And I got hired into a job that did it professionally for like Six Flags, Disneyland, so on and so forth. And I would build them from the ground up. I would send out 72 tractor trailers every year to 11 shows in 9 states, that kind of stuff. I was the property master of the company. So very big deal company. It was like 1/3 into Hollywood. But what we would do is take stuff like Men in Black 1 and 2, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, and convert them into haunted attractions. So we were big at it, and we'd scare between 7 and 9 million people a year. I've had people piss themselves, shit themselves, pass out, vomit, punch me, kick me, completely flip out, use their little Asian girlfriend as a human shield. Okay.
Yeah.
All sorts of things you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I took this energy that I learned from the haunted house, which is how to smell fear, no fear whatsoever, because it taught me a lot about the future. There was this very negative race that was coming after me over and over again. And one day I had it with them. And I instantly remembered my haunted house days where I could scare 300 people in a night easy. Yeah. And I focused it. I went into that zone, right into their collective. And I used the sum total of all fear I had experienced in the haunted house show and flooded their entire collective with it. Okay?
Ooh,
oh yeah, it stopped them. It stopped them.
Yeah.
Quite literally stopped them in their tracks. Okay? And in other situations, I get comical where if they don't have bodies, I suddenly put X-Lax in their crown chakra and they got to go take a shit. Okay?
Nice.
I learned to understand the power of fear and how it's used here and how one can use it very easily to cross dimensions and time streams and to literally scare the shit out of things, just like they do to all of us.
Yeah, with intention. Thank you, Zeph. I was going to come with intention. Your intention there was defense, wasn't it? Like
no, my intention was 100% offense with the offensive ability that I am using my capacity in the most sneakiest of way to suddenly appear in your reality and to not startle you, but to get an actual body reaction out of you.
Yeah, I mean with the collective, because in the big, like in the battle, you probably start the battle, but in the war, you've had someone, just keep having a go at you, and it's like enough, and then you sort of, to me, in the bigger term, to me that's defense, even though it's an offensive move, because if someone keeps punching you in the face all the time, at one point you can sneak up and punch them back, type thing. If that makes sense.
Yes,
I'm just looking bigger drama. As like I had a conversation with a friend, like I mentioned, don't start a fight, and she said, well, what about this and I'm dealing with this, but I don't want to start a fight. Yeah, but you're not starting a fight because you're in a war. That war has been going on for years. So in that respect, if you start something new, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you've been harassed for over tens of months, whatever.
Well, I never let it go on that long. If it goes on longer than a day, that's my own lack of responsibility to myself.
Well, that's fair enough. Also, with your experience, it's like you don't need the Greys have been pissing me off for 4 months. Like, you know what to do. If it's been 3 hours, it's like, excuse me, I have to meditate. You fucking
exactly. Okay, and a lot of them have learned I'll fight back, and I fight dirty. Okay.
I remember, if you remember my session in 2017, like wow, back then, where I broke out of, I was on a table and I broke out of their holding pattern or whatever it is, and I fought back. They don't like, they don't like it when if they lose total control over you, they kind of leave you alone, because to me that reinforces of how awesome, powerful we are as and human, and that's why the system of control are afraid of us, because if we tap into our 100% pure source, prime creator, light god type thing, they're nothing. in that they're an ant compared to Voltron, which is 30 feet high or whatever.
Okay. And doing some of these tactics, as I said, that they understand I fight dirty, just like they fight dirty. Does that make me not a light teacher? Choosing to fight back in the same level, but holding my space to say, no, you cannot touch me, you cannot harm me. That was the hardest part about the self-teaching. From the break-ins or the spiritual attacks that go on, till I got a point where I have specific techniques, and I'll tell people about them. If there's a particular person projecting at me that I don't want in my bubble of reality, you ever see the Indiana Jones movie where the blades are going like this?
Yes.
Okay, what I do is I have tens of thousands of these blades going in every direction, spreading out until their residual image is shredded into tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
So there's no, they can't maintain a light frequency whatsoever. And if you hold that image correctly, they can no longer project at you, because most people have no idea once you go after the residual image, everyone falls apart. Everyone.
Yeah. I think even Gandhi was for guns, because he pointed out if someone breaks into your house and they're attacking your wife, having a gun is kind of handy. Yeah, it's defense. Never attack where you go around start kicking everyone in the head. But if you see someone kicking everyone in the head, it goes into spirituality as well, where I don't see the it's the love and light and hug the tank as it runs over you. No, use a sticky bomb. Get out of the way.
Right. And then there are these beings that try to project in, and they're trying to plead their case. And I have to explain to them, you walked into my sacred space unasked for. You right there are already violating my space. No matter what your message is, was, or ever will be, you have devalidated it by forcing yourself into my reality. Whoever really you are, you're being controlled by something within yourself that thinks it's okay to just step into my reality without being asked to.
Yeah, a letter, phone call, knock on the door. Just don't walk into someone's house. Yeah.
Okay, you just walk into the energetic space and influence them, immediately try to get into their brain to influence them. Those are the bitch psychic brats out there that have zero boundaries. And I have no respect for them. And I've had to develop very special techniques to boot them out of my reality with such strength. When they get back in their body, they're generally sick for a week. Okay? Because of the energy I put back into them. It's not my energy. The same energy they use to penetrate my reality, I reverse it, because penetrating my reality is not easy. I practice a lot.
Well, that goes back to, I think, how we started the whole conversation, is that, if anything's being projected at you, there are techniques where you can take the energy and bend it back. And it's that, is it that still point where you're centered and you're in the now type thing, and if an energy comes at you, you don't allow it to affect you. You transmute it or you change it, but it goes back to them. I've
developed the skill that it's so instantaneous. So it's like a freight train of momentum that is coming at me. It instantly, it's back at them with no turn, no nothing, no perception. It's hitting their field at the same speed it would be trying to hit me.
Oh, nice.
And because they don't really have any defense, because the momentum they're trying to get into my reality is intense, and it gets back into them, and then their own intentions hit them and make them sick.
Have you seen the movie Kung Fu Hustle?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yes.
Love that movie.
If anyone needed a visualization of what we're talking about, watch Kung Fu Hustle. It's almost like a Warner Brothers cartoon. That's the level of humor. And you find out, slight spoiler, but there's two characters which you wouldn't, they're not Kung Fu masters. They're just normal people. And then you find out they're the highest level of Kung Fu masters that are on the planet. And they have these people try and hit them. And instead of blocking or even fighting back, they're just moving, and they take the energy, like they get hit in the stomach, but they bend and all the energy's dissipated. And it's very, very funny as well. I recommend that film a lot.
I highly recommend it, just for the comical factor of it. Kung Fu Hustle is the name of the movie. Okay,
Stephen Chow. Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of other people that say, I'm going to give it back to you times 3. No, that's being aggressive. I am using the totality of their energy and instantly putting in a portal inside themselves so it hits them with their momentum. Because if you add anything to it, you are now engaging in a battle space karma with them. I instantly end the potential of the karma with their own momentum.
Well, yeah, it's instant karma.
Yes, instant karma. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now, there are times that, let's just say, the not so good guys actually knock on the door and they want to talk. Yeah. A lot of times they're trying to pitch a sale. Okay, and I get this. It's like the guys that come on the Seventh-day Adventists, or the guys that come on Sunday morning to try to convert you. What I have learned is if I give them once a month to hear their things and ignore the fuck out of them afterwards, they don't attack. But I don't fall for temptation, because I understand when you open the door, it's temptation. But I also don't allow them to put energy into my frequency. I'll set up a very unique space in which they get to Facebook wall me. Okay? Okay?
Yeah,
it's something to that effect. And just by the acknowledgement that they're there, and I'm not there to solely fuck up their reality, they go on to somebody else.
Yeah, it's for me I'm thinking like Bashar, not the leader of Syria. The idea, I like the idea, narrative, and permission and stuff like that. I totally back what you say. Humanity's not ready for telepathy because we can't control our shadow, but you can have an email box and you can send stuff like that where you can just delete it and
and if the negative pop-up comes up, don't click on it. Okay. That's the temptation pop-up.
Yeah, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Meldak? No, click. Yeah,
exactly.
And so there's that element of defense. You can have a spiritual defense where, in a basic light worker way of saying, cutting cords. But if you don't allow those cords to connect in the first place,
right? Which goes into this question from Galaxy S8: how do you know who you can trust when you're trying to communicate with you if you're channeling? If you don't know that answer, you shouldn't be channeling.
Discernment, but also that a lot of practice.
It's a highly developed skill, and most people think I can channel, but they can't because they haven't dealt with any of their own shadow.
Yeah, because it'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm sure some people just have my shadow's been talking to your shadow's been talking to you for 8 years.
Okay. I've also reached a point because somebody's asking, how do you trust the energies coming in? I don't. I've learned to know. I don't have to trust. I've learned to know the intentions immediately from the being and its source inside it and the sources of sources inside it. I am always reading the Akashic record. The other day I had a kind of combative lady on, and she was saying, this isn't psychic. I'm like, yes, you've called me from the moment you've been talking to me, but you just don't realize it because you want me to tell you what you want to hear. And I will never tell you what you want to hear because that's a delusion. So as soon as an energy comes to me, it's not about trust. I already know.
Yeah, and that's from over three decades of experience as well, where you walk into a room, it's like, I feel it feels icky in this, or you start to become aware of certain frequencies. Like a very basic version is like, I'm going to close the back door now because it's cold, because you can feel the temperature drop, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's obviously different with, when you have energies in, when you psychic attacks and everything else like that. Brings up a question. What's happening with humanity with the psychic attacks in this now?
Humanity is doing it to itself now.
Okay. So that's so sneaky of the dark. It's like, poke. All they're doing to themselves. Let's watch.
Yep. Let's just feed off of it.
Yep. Like, our friend that I said to you, we had a good conversation because his entity took a day off.
Yep. Exactly. His entity took a week off and he comes back. Look, he harvested himself for me.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And like people ask me, do you play video games? No, I live in one. And I kind of use that mentality. Not everything's a video game, but just sort of the way that they're constructed where my thought just left me. But you know what I mean? It's like if things happen, it's like, oh, okay. And a lot of, why is this happening to me? This should be, what am I learning from this? And then sometimes, because, there's false synchronicity sometimes and false lessons. That's what I was kind of mentioning when the universe echoes. It could be the universe going, just one more time. Or it's a dark entity going, oh, we'll do this. And it's like, well, I know this. I've done this. I've done the work. Why is that popping up now? And then, soul contracts and blah, 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 blah.
So also in the unseen world, I people that have practiced the contract revocations understand I have this like spiritual law firm that kind of works with me. And when other entities trying to engage things to me, there are times I will summon the law firm to look at everything that they're doing and then send contracts back to them that fuck their head up. Like, wait, I'm indebted servitude to you if I sign this contract? Wait, I sent you a signed contract. Therefore, I'm in indebted servitude to you and you can serve me zero. Yeah. There are ways to really use your genius intelligence when you know how to summon unique sources, especially if you're contact with your soul family elders, because you put the effort into it.
We need a name for that law firm.
Do we cheat them and how?
Yeah, okay, yep, yeah. Classic one. That's
Three Stooges.
Yeah. Because this is like, do we cheat them and how? I like that.
Yeah. And I have had more success using the spiritual law firm at the temptation-based entities that suddenly the temptation entity is in a process where it must convert itself to a light entity. It's in the contract. And if it breaks the contract, what happens to it? It's fucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got an interesting question now. What about, because if the planet is under a certain version of quarantine and there's dark entities that have been here since the planet's locked down for millions of years, do you get any entities that are from the dark going, yeah, I'm fucking over it, I want to leave?
Plenty.
Yeah.
By 20 Galactic History series, I talk about that all the time in some of the episodes after that. Our planet hasn't been on quarantine since 2018. It's been totally lifted. But a lot of the common light worker idiots that are saying we're still under quarantine, they're idiots. The planet, the whole solar system is open because they want everyone to leave, the bad guys. They opened the doors and said, you got a couple of years to leave ahead of time. Pack your shit.
That sounds like the light as well. Let's be nice. You have an opportunity to leave. It's up to you. If you stay, we will destroy you.
Exactly. We will convert you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Well, you can repent, or you can go back to the galactic sun and be recycled. And it's maybe I'll stop. But I'm fascinated where viruses or entities or what would be labeled dark on this planet. It's like they've flipped sides and now they're actually helping the light because.
I have made this statement since very early on in my presentation. Our world is run by a light dictatorship, not the dark. It's a light dictatorship that works with all the negative to keep the karmic resolution machine going. So the light is just as responsible as the dark in this situation. The light could have cleared up all the child raping, all that stuff. It didn't, not because it didn't have the power to, because it was the contractual obligations to have the light in charge of the dictatorship.
So yeah.
Therefore, this is why we need more options than just light and dark.
Yeah. 17 shades of grey, or however much. Like for me, if the aliens land in front of the White House, oh, cool, you exist. Now piss off.
They did already. They did already.
Yeah, but but it wasn't on television, so no one believes it. My point is, humanity needs its own agenda. We shouldn't. It's that whole savior type aspect where
well put.
Because it's like the example I give is like the aliens turn up, they're on television, on the Today Show, or like the TV show V, they turn up. It's like awesome, oh they're gods and all that shit. It's like no, it's like oh great, you're here now. Piss off to the other side of Pluto and give us one rotation of the sun to figure this shit out. Instead of having 3 weeks, like that's what I think.
Yeah, well, that shit ain't happening. They ain't gonna.
I know.
It's up to us individually, and as our government devolves itself into more totalitarianism and shows more of what its true colors, There'll be more that are waking up to that truth who will have to choose themselves before they choose the sides that are being told to them to choose.
Yeah, and the COVID, the gift that keeps on giving. A lot of it. It's, I think you've said, forced evolution.
Yes, I
in
call
that
it forced
respect.
evolution. Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people are just like, wait a minute, and it's kind of fascinating where people have been talking about this, and I think it's stuck. A lot of people know what's going on. It could be in the subconscious or the unconscious, but now they're seeing it unfold in front of them, and it's interesting to see how everyone's reacting to that.
Yeah.
Like especially March, where I'm going to pick a number, say a third of the conspiracy theories shat themselves because it finally hit them that the truth of this could be actually happening instead of just talking about it all the time. And it's
Right.
like, oh,
the day after lockdown began is where so many of the conspiracy people had a sudden realization, awakening
yes,
that everything that they've been saying is pretty much true.
yeah.
It was a self-validating moment that fucked a lot of conspiracy people up, and they don't know, still all this time later they still don't know what to do with the truth.
Yeah, I take that position sometimes because how do I describe? We're all the center of our universe, but through the joy of creation, we interact with everybody, and it's a kaleidoscope of creation. And so like if I meet a Christian, it's like, okay, you're on that trip, awesome. I did it in a past life, didn't work out for me, and so yeah, I've been there, done that. But it's an observation. I try not to judge. It's like, oh, you're following all that. Oh, you're a Mormon, blah, blah, blah. It's, for me, it's an element of free will. It's like, okay, you're doing that. Do no harm, please. And how do I save myself, save the world type thing?
I said, save the cheerleader, save the world, save
yourself.
Yep. Save yourself, save the world. Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. You know exactly what show I got it from. That was a interesting TV show where I've noticed, like, even with Lost, they start out with 24 episodes in the first season, and then over the next seasons they cut it down to 10. It's like we're running out of story.
That's because they put so much effort into that story creation. So much effort. Yeah.
And the quality sort of dropped off as well, because I owned, I think, season 1 and 2 of Heroes, but got rid of them because
that was turned awful. Exactly. Right in between season 2 and 3, it was like, what the fuck? Did they fire all the writers and hire some idiots?
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of what David Icke said recently, where the world is run by psychopaths, ruled by psychopaths, but run by idiots. And I use your example as well. Like, even if the New World Order comes in, can you name me once when the government did anything right?
Exactly. They still have a bureaucracy too.
Yeah. Someone actually did say if the New World Order actually came in 100%, it would only last 8 months because of just the infighting and the stupidity of it all. And if they keep releasing films, i.e. like Star Wars, which is about rebellion against a totalitarian system, that's going to give the people the idea. Like, wait a minute, we should stand up for ourselves.
Imagine all the Karens and Kens reacting to that.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Hollywood's in a good position at the moment where I just went into information overload because I've got Tom Hanks and all that type of shit. It's so weird how people are trying to find truth. And I was mentioning this with my interview with Melissa, where, say, like, we know there's planes landing at Melbourne. That much is true because you can see the planes landing in it. That's all we know. That's the evidence. Now people step into their narrative and fill in the blanks afterwards. Well, it's obviously to save all the children, or it's all these Chinese people coming in, or it's all Chinese cargo, or blah, 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 blah. And it's fascinating. It's across the board where, in a way, the Q movement sort of been manipulated, where they've taken one sentence of information and they've extrapolated out where Donald Trump is Jesus Christ.
Yep.
It's at the end of the story.
Right.
And the other interesting thing about it is, like, when people have a narrative, they seem to be sticking to it. And if you say, if I'm talking about I Love Lucy, and they say, oh, but Ricardo was Cuban. No. He's an American. It's a bad example, but they don't accept new information, which would turn the narrative. It's like, no, it's this. We stay like this, and that's it. Like, yeah, but what about this? No, you're wrong. Like, but look, it's like there's a new an Australian cartoon which has I shared it on my Facebook page. Wink, wink, Robert. Joe Biden saying like we have to bring America together and end all racism. And then the next panel is, so I'm just going to hand over to this brown girl while I go lie down, and it's Tulsi Gabbard. No, Kamala. And there are people going, this is a racist cartoon. It's like, it's pointing out racism and using actual words from Biden. So I shared it with, so making fun of racism is racist now. 2020, yo.
That's how fucked up the world is.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up the world is.
Yeah, it's that's why I like doing comedy here. And our audience finds us, and like we would never get on NBC.
No,
like,
we never would.
That's the fun. Yeah, that one is causing a lot of grief for lefties and far lefts because they believe that is racist to the people in the cartoon.
Exactly. So Monty, we're nearing the end of the show, and I want to give some constructive homework out there. Ooh. And I want you to give 3 movies that you want people to watch between now and our next show.
Oh, here we go. It's turned out that HBO actually has a warning on Blazing Saddles now. So I recommend people watching Blazing Saddles. And
the unrated version.
Yes, the unrated version of Blazing Saddles. And just turn off what you know about the outside world and just watch it. Find out when the movie was made. I think 74, 75. That helps to know when it was created in the timeline. Watch Blazing Saddles and just laugh at it. Because it was, people say, oh, it's racist. It was a group of Jewish men with Richard Pryor writing it.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's making fun of racism. It isn't racist. It's a brilliant one. So Blazing Saddles, Kung Fu Hustle as well, because it's a Warner Brothers cartoon. It's so fantastic. And you can see how it's still a Kung Fu movie, and there's fantastic fight scenes and stunts. And it's just like, you remember where this one guy tries to hit another guy with a piano leg and has, his head's punched into the floor. And it's like, why did you do this? And the guy that's been pummeled just gets like a small matchstick and goes up and taps him on the forehead again. Like he won't stop.
I love that. I love that. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, third movie. Let me think. How can I say it? Discover Life of Brian again.
Great movie.
Yeah. A friend of mine's mum, super Irish Catholic, laughed body parts off because she understood it was attacking religion, organized religion, and not Jesus Christ. And it's, I think it would help now, especially with the zealots of everywhere, the Karens or whatever, and how, you say one sentence and it can be totally taken out of context. And then 3 days later, you've got communes and, Scientology and everything else like that. Right. So, yeah, Life of Brian, Blazing Saddles, and Kung Fu Hustle. What 3 would you add to that?
So the first movie I'm going to tell you is watch the movie called The Shape of Water.
Ooh.
Have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't.
I do not want to give it away. If you have not seen this movie, I highly, highly, highly recommend it because of the nature of it. I don't want to give any foreshadow, anything away. Go watch The Shape of Water. Now, the other movie, just 1 second here, is... Hold on a second. We got my list of stuff here. Detective Dee, The Mystery of the Phantom Flame. Now, this is a Chinese wuxia action movie, but if you don't like watching movies that are subtitled, I will still recommend that you watch this movie. It is a beautifully cinematographed movie that has some very unique subject matter that will help people really wake up. And
so
now,
Detective
D, The Mystery of the Phantom Flame.
So just D, the letter, or
D-E-E.
All right. The Mystery. All right.
Okay. And then if you've never seen any of the Ip Man movies, Ip Man 1, 2, 3, or 4, I highly recommend you start with Ip Man 1. It is a class IP.
Okay.
It is a Donnie Yen in high grade acting and martial arts that has a unique story. So the highest form of Chinese martial arts was practiced by Ip Man. It's a story that he went through, and it's about it dealing in World War II, surviving World War II, coming to Hong Kong. Ip Man was Bruce Lee's original teacher. He's the one that taught him majority of the stuff. And then movie 3 and 4 about his aging life. I highly recommend all the Ip Man movies. And then there's a sub movie called Master Z, which was a competitor to him, and another one called The Grand Master. Now, if you don't like fighting martial arts movie, this movie is not really like fighting martial arts. It has an intense story, intense character buildings, and a lot of philosophical messages to learn from in between the fight scenes.
Yeah, and I find it interesting that out of the 6 movies, 4 of them are Eastern.
Yes, they have a lot of things that they can teach you right away.
Yeah. So I would suggest watching Kung Fu Hustle first and then go on to the others. Because Kung Fu, I think that was created to it is dubbed in English, and so I think it was made for Western audiences as well. So it's a global film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Ip Man, IP, the letter I and the letter P, not PK. And these movies are not dubbed in English, so you're going to have to watch the subtitles. But the person that did the subtitles made a very accurate translation.
Oh, that's good.
And it makes an outstanding movie to learn from. Outstanding.
Yeah, to respond to Jamie, not sus, Die Hard and Die Hard 2 are Christmas movies, so you'll have to wait till Christmas.
Yes.
That's my new tradition now on Christmas Eve. I watch Die Hard 1 and 2.
Also, I saw somebody put a Godzilla. I recently watched all the Godzilla movies in a weekend, everyone from the first one to the last one. And there's one that's out there. What is it called? Damn it. Godzilla Final Wars. It's a crazy Toho film with aliens and Matrix stuff, like the movie Matrix, like scenes and action scenes.
Yeah.
But it is really, really good. Or Mecha Godzilla 2 from 1996.
Oh.
Okay. All right, Monty, why don't you give people a way to get a hold of you?
If you want to actually see more of my shows, I've got my podcast as well as my weekly roundtable. Wafer Thin Entertainment on the YouTubes, yeah. Facebook is Monty Dean, as you can see there. And if you go into the war zone, that is Twitter. It is @Real Monty Dean. I'm also on Instagram, where the meme war continues, which is just Monty.Dean.
And you guys know who I am. I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. We will be back this coming Tuesday for another exciting show. All right, Robert, take us away.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the holy grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.